Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm William Cooper. There's still no news. The only news is that the China trade thing was passed. That's it. And that's not good news. That's bad news, of course. We all know that. Here we have an administration who accepted money from the Chinese People's Liberation Army, from communist Chinese government and business officials, who gave them satellite technology and the guidance systems for intercontinental ballistic missiles, who allowed a communist Chinese spy to take secrets from Sandia Laboratory and Los Alamos computers. I could go on and on and on and on. And now they give them most favored permanent, not just most favored trading status, but permanent trading status. Can you believe that? How can you give somebody permanent trading status? You don't know what they're going to do tomorrow. And they are the sworn enemies of the United States of America. Their whole agenda, their goal, professed, they don't hide from it. They make no secret of it. It's in all of their writings and speeches and everything over the years, is to destroy, not change, not live with peaceably, not engage in free trade, activities, but to destroy the United States of America and bring about global communism. That means rule the world. And they make no bones about how they want to do it. They'll do it by any means possible, including armed insurrection, infiltration and destruction of our infrastructure, by taking over our education system and dumbing down our children, by causing us to disarm ourselves through deception, all of which are coming true. All of them. Yep. And the sheeple think it's really neat. Bah. 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 Oh my God. I'll tell you what, you better believe in God. Because you don't have much hope in yourselves. Notice I didn't say ourselves. I don't include myself with the sheeple at all. I'm not one of them. I'm with a group. We know who we are. We're not part of the flock.
People talking, trying to pick us up. Why won't they let us be? Bricks and stones may break my bones, but talk don't bother me. People talking, trying to pick us up when they know that.
Oh yeah, don't you know it too? Remember some years ago, I don't remember how many, but it was years ago. Remember when I told you that Hanoi Jane, the communist daughter of Henry Fonda, Hanoi Jane Fonda, shamed her father, disgraced her family, disgraced America? While I was fighting in Vietnam, I was there. I was the captain of a patrol boat on the Qua Viet River, listening to Radio Hanoi when I heard Jane Fonda come on the air. If you don't believe me, check the dates. I'm telling you the truth, man. I heard her on the air. railing against the United States of America. Later, I don't remember how much later, it was a long time later, I saw pictures of her sitting on North Vietnamese anti-aircraft guns, pretending like she was shooting down United States aircraft. She committed treason, was never charged with it, never punished. Read the Constitution and you'll find that she did commit treason, should have been arrested, tried, and should have been hung. Still should be hung. She's a communist, there's no doubt about it. Her husband, Ted Turner, is a communist. We don't refer to it as the Communist News Network for nothing. Communists. Jane Fonda's been a communist all her life. She wouldn't marry anybody if they weren't a communist. Her previous husbands were all communists. Remember on this broadcast, 1 or 2 years after we first started broadcasting, it was years ago, I did a story on here that you didn't hear anywhere else, that Jane Fonda's limousine was stopped on the Hollywood Freeway in California. I don't remember the reason why it was stopped, but I remember what the police officers found. The car was full of guns. See, she's been a vociferous, long-time anti-gun nut. Traitor is what she is. Well, when the California Highway Patrol stopped her limousine on the Hollywood Freeway, and they didn't even have to search the limousine, it was full of guns. And all of her bodyguards had guns, and she had guns that were registered in her name. Well, it's happened again. It's happened again. Remember Rosie O'Donnell? Remember this little twit socialist Marxist boob? That railed against gun ownership, was supported by Kmart, and I did a big broadcast about that and urged everyone to boycott Kmart, and we all sent emails and letters and faxes and called Kmart and told them to stop their sponsorship of Rosie O'Donnell. And Kmart responded, "We believe in free speech and we will support Rosie O'Donnell no matter what she says or does." Well, after they started feeling the punch in their pocketbooks, because a lot of people did what I told them to do. They stopped going to Kmart, and Kmart noticed that their profits were plunging. They ditched Rosie O'Donnell. Good thing they did, because she turned out to be a lying little scumbag witch with a B. That's right, witch with a B. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Definition of a female dog is a bitch. Well, old Rosie O'Donnell caught with her panties down today. She has a bodyguard. Her bodyguard applied for a handgun permit to guard her and her son. Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell, that's right, the one who said nobody should ever be allowed to own guns under any circumstances ever, no matter what, period. And influenced a lot of people. Well, she got caught with her panties down and her dress up, right in the middle of the busiest intersection in New Jersey today. Yep. She hired a bodyguard. Her bodyguard has applied for a handgun permit in order to guard Rosie O'Donnell and her son. Guess what Rosie said? She says, "Oh, it's okay if he applies for a gun permit as long as he has a license and it's registered." Well, that's not what she said before. That kind of makes her a hypocrite and a liar, doesn't it? Rosie O'Donnell, listen to me. You are a witch with a B. You are a hypocrite. You are a liar. You are a traitor. You're a scum-sucking, puke-faced, Marxist little witch with a bee. Hope that makes your day. Sure made mine. Got to tell you, Rosie, it sure made mine.
Take these chains from my longer care.
By the way, folks, all those of you who know who I'm talking about heard from Jack and Patty Mundine, talked to both of them. Long telephone conversation. And they wanted me to tell all of you who have become their dear friends over the years, hello. You know, they've been great contributors to our cause. Number 2. Number 2. I just love it. Bush has got it all wrong. Somebody has done what that guy tried to do to me last night. Somebody stuck a whisk in George Bush's ear and scrambled his brains. He wants to make Colin Powell, listen to me, he wants to make General Colin Powell Secretary of State if he's elected president. And he wants to make, oh God, I can't stand it. He wants to make McCain Secretary of Defense. What does McCain know about global military strategy? McCain was a junior Navy pilot who got shot down over Vietnam and spent 5 years being brainwashed by the Chinese Communists and the North Vietnamese. He gave away secrets. He told them everything that he knew. He traded information for medical treatment that no other prisoner of war ever received. He went on television and allowed them to make videotapes of him and television broadcasts of him, which I saw on television, by the way, condemning the United States Navy and the United States of America for war crimes and all kinds of terrible, dastardly deeds. He told them everything he knew about the United States 7th Fleet and aircraft tactics, maneuvers, and operations. He told them everything that he knew about the operation of air attacks by the United States Navy over North Vietnam. Remember what I told you? There's not a nickel's bit of difference between the Democrat and the Republican Party. Remember that? Well, it's true. You see, William Jefferson Clinton has been giving away everything to the Communist Chinese. Now, George Bush is going to come in and put our entire Defense Department in the hands of a man who was brainwashed by the Communist Chinese for 5 years. When are you people going to wake up? When are you going to understand what's happening? When are you going to even get an inkling that none of this is accidental? None of this is shopping carts bouncing off each other in the parking lot. It's not what's going on here. Now, here we have a General, Colin Powell, who was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and was in charge of all of our military forces for many years. And Bush wants to make him Secretary of State. Hate to tell you this, guys, but it's another case of blah! I got lots more to go, yeah. You know, I'm getting to the point where I just trying to have some... Hello? Come in. Hello? Come in. Oh, crusher. Come on. Sit down. Come here, buddy. Lay down. Just Crusher at the door. I heard him at the door, and so I sort of tapped on the microphone while I reached around and opened the studio door so Crusher could come in. I guess he got a little lonely. So he's lying here by my feet now. Have you heard the news? Remember the other night when I revealed to you that the pendulum is swinging in the opposite direction? Well, remember I also told you, and I've been telling you for a long time, you would be absolutely amazed at who listens to this broadcast. The White House listens to this broadcast. Rush Limbaugh listens to this broadcast. They can protest all they want to. We know that they do because of remarks that they've made the day following a broadcast where I made certain remarks where the only place in this whole world they could have gotten the gist for the remarks following that day was from this broadcast. So we know that. Remember the other night when I told you the pendulum is swinging and Gore hasn't got a prayer in hell? It's all over for Clinton, Gore, and everybody else. And Clinton is going to lose his law license. He's going to be disbarred. And that spells the end of him. You see, because that's something that a lot of people look at as being minor, but it's solid in substance. Solid in substance. It's absolute proof that he's an illegal, lying piece of crap. And where most people would forgive sexual indiscretions because most people are guilty of the same things themselves, they will not forgive that. Because our entire justice system hinges upon telling the truth. Even though there's not a police officer, sheriff or sheriff's deputy, or government agent alive on the face of this earth who has not lied in court. Not one, anywhere. Not one. And any one of them who stands up in front of me and tells me they never lied in court, better watch out. I'll assign somebody that they don't know to follow them around, to investigate the cases, to carry tape recorders and video cameras, and appear in every court case that they ever appeared. We will prove that they're lying again. It's real easy to do. Really easy to do. Even one of my best friends, who's a police officer, has admitted to me that he has, on occasion, not told the truth in court. And he's one of the best men I've ever met. But you see, he got zealous and carried away by the pressure from the department and the other police officers to convict certain people. They all know it. Now, he's changed since then. He doesn't do that anymore, I can guarantee you. But he has done it. All of them have done it, and I would say that most of them still do it. Well, guess what? Certain political experts came out today in the news with a phony poll, a poll that was never conducted, claiming that Gore will win in November. Immediately following my broadcast the other night. Won't do you any good, guys. You cannot negate the truth. And while a lot of people might believe that you conducted your phony poll, we did a little phone call, and that's all it took to find out what polling agency supposedly conducted the poll for you. Then we called that polling agency, and they said, "What? We never did anything like that." It was a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Welcome to the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. This is truly the age of deception. Truly the age of deception. Ain't no doubt about it, buddy.
kissed me the way you do. Oh, right now. Oh, and no one but you ever told me I love you.
Earlier today, Vince Foster was found murdered in a Washington, D.C. park. Preliminary investigation disclosed that he had carpet fibers all over his naked skin and his underwear. He was last seen leaving the White House, getting into his car in the White House parking lot while Hillary Clinton waved goodbye to him from an upper window.
Oh, and no one but you ever broke my heart in two. No one but you. So I'll keep on caring.
Disclosed today by Vince Foster's wife that he was upset over his role in the Waco incident, the Waco massacre. Yeah. Did you know that Vince Foster had written a letter about his role in the Waco massacre and had told several people about it, including his wife and several members of the White House staff, who all testified that he had done that? That letter has never to this day been found. There is testimony, however, that Hillary Clinton ordered her personal secretary to inspect and search Vince Foster's office, and while law enforcement officials and others were trying to seal off the office to preserve evidence, one of the White House male aides spirited a box of material from Vince Foster's office up to the living quarters of the White House and handed it to Hillary Clinton. Bet you never heard that before on the communist news networks. However, if you will just inspect the congressional record of the hearings on the subject, you will find that every word of it is true. Everybody thought when Mayor Giuliani pulled out of the Senate race in New York that Hillary had it made. Well, not so. Not so, folks. Remember I told you the pendulum is swinging. Remember I told you that? Well, Mayor Giuliani pulled out of the race for the Senate in New York, and everybody was screaming, yelling, jumping up and down. Hillary's got it made. She's going to fly right through and she's going to be in the Senate. Not so. New Jersey produced a man called Lazio. And he is running for the senator in New York against Hillary Clinton. And guess what? Guess what? When Mayor Giuliani dropped out of the race, this guy was like 20 points behind. Now, today, they are neck and neck. Even money. Hillary and Lazio are in an even race today. And I'm going to tell you right now, Lazio is going to beat this Marxist, radical, terrorist, funding, supporting, lying wife of the worst lying president, most criminal president, most everything in the world that you can think of president that's bad. He's going to beat her. And he's going to go to the Senate. Now, I don't know anything about this guy. But I'll tell you something right now. He can be the worst person in the world. If he beats Hillary Clinton, it will make me happy. He will make me happy if he beats Hillary Clinton. Doesn't mean I'll like him. Doesn't mean I'll like his politics. Doesn't mean I will support him. But if he beats Hillary Clinton, it will make me happy. Just because of that. Just because of that. How many of you know that they have just completed some tests that show that veterans of the Gulf War who are sick, and there's no doubt about the fact that they're sick, forget listening to all these other people that you've heard about the Gulf War syndrome. They've all been lying to you for a long time. And that includes Joyce Riley. I remember listening to her on shortwave when she was telling that there were at least 10 military bases in the United States that absolutely could not function and were closed down because every single man, woman on those bases were sick with the Gulf War illness. She lied. I remember hearing her on shortwave radio as a guest on different shows saying that 50,000 Gulf War veterans had already died from the disease. She lied. But here is a bit of truth for you. This is true. Researchers trying to find the cause of the Gulf War syndrome have discovered that Gulf War vets who are sick with the Gulf War syndrome show brain damage, show positive, absolute brain damage. And they are the ones who fit in Gulf War syndrome category 2. Category 1 and category 3 does not demonstrate this brain damage, but those who fit into, however they categorize this, what they call category 2, demonstrate severe brain damage. So, that shows that they ain't faking it. They're not faking it. And just like I've told you for many, many years, you don't have to lie about things. You don't have to sensationalize them. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to invent figures. The truth is bad enough. The truth's bad enough. And if you tell the truth, you have credibility. And credibility means people will listen to you. Credibility means things will be tended to. When you lie and people find out that you're lying, and it's easy, it is so easy to discover, then you have no credibility. You become a liar. You become somebody with no confidence factor. You become a rumor monger. You become a minion of the old, who was it? Who was it that was billed as the great deceiver? Wonder who that was. See, whenever you spread a rumor, whenever you tell a lie, whenever you stretch the truth or sensationalize something, and I don't care what the reason is that you do it, you become an ally of the great deceiver. Somebody called him Heinrich Himmler. Somebody else called him Lucifer. Somebody else called him Satan. You can call him anybody you want. But listen to me very carefully. He's not anybody I want around me. His minions are not anybody that I want to know or be associated with or hear from. His minions and allies and supporters are not the people that I care about. You understand? You want to be on his side? Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't reference me. Don't email me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you're a spreader of rumors and lies and disinformation and sensationalization and all of this other bullshit. Do you hear me, sheeple? Do you hear me, minions of Lucifer? Do you hear me, supporters of the great deceiver? Do you hear me, you stupid jerks? All you sheeple, this is your theme song. This is what you love. Masochism, enslavement, somebody to take care of you, don't set you free.
Like a stamp on a letter, if you let me stick with you,
Yes, I will.
I can love you better than anyone else can do. So don't set me free,
Don't set me free.
though I've done you wrong.
So I
Oh, don't set me free.
Right, Paul and Brenda? Paul works for the
Don't set me
Juvenile Criminal Probation Department. Losing your house, selling your children's beds. Oh, yes. We saved you. We loaned you $1,000 interest-free, and now you shun us, won't even wave at us, won't even acknowledge that we exist. Why? Nobody else would come to your aid. Since you had both lost your jobs, no lending institution would loan you money. You were headed down the tubes on a roller coaster, and we saved you. And now you do these despicable things to us. Made no effort to repay us. I paid a lot of money for pet dogs, to landscape your property, to buy cars and furniture and things. Why do people do these despicable things to other people who help them? We ask for no interest, we ask for no favors, we ask for nothing, just that you pay it back. And now, when we see you and we wave at you, you turn your heads as if Doyle and I don't even exist in this entire world. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I'm a fool to care.
How about the European Union? The European Union members are now getting together, talking about making it a super state and giving up all of their sovereignty to the European Union. Remember what I told you years ago? I told you this would happen. That the European Union would become the first regional sovereign government over all of the member states in the world. And that sovereignty would be given up to the United Nations. The second would be the unification of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And then the rest of the world would follow. Well, it's all coming true. Everything that I've ever told you, it's all coming true. It always has. I don't know why it makes people so angry. You know, if all get off your butts and do the same research that I do, you would know the same things that I know, and you shouldn't be angry or jealous or upset. What you should be is thankful for having forewarning so that you can act upon it. But do you ever act upon anything? Have you ever? Will you ever? That's the question. That is the hinge upon which the door to the future operates. You don't know that. You don't give a damn, probably. Because to oil the hinge and make the door work and make it all better, you gotta get up off your ass and do something. Oh, heaven forbid you have to do that. Oh my goodness, you might even have to take some kind of personal risk. You might even get on somebody's list. Oh, people might even start to respect you because you cease to become worthless. But, oh, who am I to dream like that? Come on, Bill. I mean, you're really getting away with yourself here, dreaming like that. Come on, Bill. Get real. Gee.
All right, thank you. This is what we show.
Right now! Stupid couch potato. Get up. Participate. Go over and take your wife by the hand. Dance with her. Do something, even if it's wrong. My God. Sea cucumbers move faster than you and accomplish more. See how easy I made it on you? You don't even have to live up to any words. There are none. I played this so you wouldn't have any stigmatism, Oh, I know you're still sitting there. I know you didn't take your wife by the hand. I know you're not dancing. I know you haven't moved. You ignominious blob. Never see that movie by the same name, The Blob? At least it tried to accomplish something. Amazing. Caffeine. A major study shows that caffeine may present? I apologize for that little slip of the tongue. Caffeine may prevent. In fact, it's not may. Caffeine absolutely will prevent Parkinson's disease in some people. That's the results of the study. Caffeine will prevent Parkinson's disease in some people. So it's plain to see that Janet Reno was not drinking coffee at any time in her life. And she didn't start getting those shakes. She didn't get Parkinson's disease until after the Waco massacre. God did that to her. God punished her. When she lied and said we did it for the children, when she told all those lies, God struck her with Parkinson's disease. And you can see the evidence of her crime every time you see her on television. Now, a lot of you are going to say, you have no right to say that. Yes, I have every right to say it. I can say whatever I damn well please. I'm an American, and I have the freedom of speech. And if you don't want to believe it, you don't have to. Turn off your radio, turn the dial, go to sleep, get lost, jump off a cliff, gargle with razor blades. I don't give a damn. God afflicted her, and he did it right after Waco. If you don't like it, stick it. I have the record and the reputation of being right. More than anyone else who has ever lived in the history of the world. And I don't do it because I'm a psychic. I don't do it because God talks to me. I don't do it because I have tarot cards, or I read your fortune, or I look at your palm, or read the bumps on your head. I do it because I study history. I research everything that happens. I have seen the same thing happen to people who have done these kinds of things throughout the history of the human race. Many of them are described in the Bible. Read it. You might learn something. You might also be deceived. If you want to be a Christian, read the words of Christ. Don't listen to your pastor, your preacher, your bishop, your church. Read the words of Christ and follow them. If you want to be a Muslim, read the writings of the Quran and follow them. If you want to be a Jew, read the book of the Torah and stop listening to the rabbis. Get my drift? If you want to be a follower of Buddha, follow the way of life that he taught. Do not try to make him a god. You understand? Good night, everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Good night, Annie, Pooh, and Allison. I love you.